Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. Hope you like this video and subscribe. I'm going to talk about a rumor for a couple of things before we get into this video. I have another channel, believe it or not, I have more than one channel, but I have a channel called Prospect Hut, and I talk a lot about the Met prospects. I'm doing my best to become the number one, that's authority on Met prospects on YouTube. I think I'm getting there. They do a lot of videos on prospects on the Prospect Hut. I'm going to put the link to the Prospect Hut in the description of this video. So go there and subscribe. The channel is getting close to being completely monetized. I need more subscribers. It's not so much the hours now. It's about the sub count. So go in there, sub to it. You'll learn everything you can possibly imagine on the Mets prospects. Okay. Now I want to talk about a couple of rumors. As you know, today is Friday. I'm recording this video at 2 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, it is the non-tender deadline. So players that have contracts or on the last year or two of free agency before, because they're still on they're still in arbitration. Guys that could be out of here. There'll be a couple of guys hopefully out of here. Hopefully Daniel Vogelback will be out of here, and Luis Guillorme will be out of here. Those guys that are, I would assume that Tommy Pham was talking about in terms of lazy position players. If they are not, I will have it. There will be an explosion here of those two guys. In particular, Daniel Vogelback is here after 8 p.m. Another thing, there was a rumor going around about the Mets reliever Drew Smith. Apparently, the Mets are shopping him. It's a good idea. I'm tired of watching him give up a home run after home run on that bad slider that he has. And hopefully the Mets will get rid of him pretty quickly before we get to the non-tender deadline, 8 p.m. I'll have a video up after the deadline later on today. So hit that subscribe button if you want to find out my reaction to Daniel Vogelback being here or not being here. Oh, God forbid he's here. God forbid he is here, because if he is here, you'd think a rant was crazy in May and June about him. I will go after the new president of baseball operations. I guarantee you that. Okay, and I'm not owned by the Mets or friends with anybody in the Met organization. So I'll say what I say, and I don't care. I want the Mets to win. That's all that matters to me. He's a loser. He cannot be on this roster after 8 p.m. today. Okay, there's a rumor, which is another bad rumor, another Cubs-related rumor. The Cubs and their fans, they're desperate to get Pete Alonso on their team. Rumor popped up yesterday about Pete Alonso going to the Cubs for outfielder Christopher Morel. Now, I was going through the numbers. As you know, before we get into numbers, Pete has one more year on his contract, then he becomes a free agent. David Stearns has said that he wants to he's on the team this year. Ownership has said they love Pete, but obviously he's going to be a free agent, and he hired Scott Boras. Boras will take him to free agency. Okay? There are teams, and the Cubs are desperate for another bat in their lineup. There's all kinds of crazy rumors going on with the Cubs. They're trying to get Ohtani. They're trying to get this guy, that guy. But they've zeroed in on Pete because obviously they need another bat in that lineup. That's not a great lineup. And obviously Pete is a home run hitter of the major order. A historically great home run hitter. He's compared to Ralph Kiner, Albert Pujols, Eddie Matthews, and down the line. But I will mention this. Okay. Players of his comparison, like Paul Goldschmidt, did not bring anything and value of note. Just recently, this past season, the Diamondbacks DFA'd the last player from the deal that sent Goldschmidt to the Cardinals, and none of those players were of any note. So you will not get the kind of value you think you're going to get for a home run hitter of Pete's caliber, because he's a first baseman. He's not a premium position. He's not a shortstop. He's not a pitcher. Now, the rumor about Christopher Morel is one of the most common trade proposals I've heard, coming from from Chicago. He has been in the majors. He's played in 220 games, folks. 220 games. He has struck out 270 times. Let me say this again. He's had 220 games played in the major leagues, and he has swung and missed and struck out 270 times. It's terrible. That's 36% of his at-bats he has struck out. Now, in comparison, Pete Alonso struck out 22% of his time, but he has 192 home runs, and he's led the major leagues since 2019 in home runs, more than Shohei Ohtani, more than Aaron Judge. Okay, and of course Kyle Schwarber. Now, moral is they said that he would be the centerpiece. Bullshit. He's not the centerpiece of anything. I'm going to run down a couple players that the Cubs have that should be at the forefront of any kind of trade. And if any Cubs fans come around here and want to argue with me, I know your farm system. I was looked over them. First up would be on the docket would be Pete Crow Armstrong, your number one prospect. If I'm giving up a home run hitter of an historic level like Pete Alonso, I'm getting your number one prospect. Did he get a hit in the majors yet? No. He had 14 at bats in 13 games for the Cubs when they called him up. He didn't get a hit. His hit tool is his least valuable tool, and it was when the Mets drafted him 3 years ago. Okay, I know him as a player. His hit tool is not his best tool. His defense is, and his speed. That is very troubling to me. You want a guy that can hit, especially when you draft him. I did not like the draft pick. The number 2 best prospect, according to MLB Pipeline, that the Mets should have to talk about is Cade Horton, right-handed pitcher. Also, another outfielder, Owen Casey, guy with big power, and the right-handed pitcher Ben Brown, who they got in the David Robinson deal. These are the 4 players that the Mets should focus in on if they were to make a deal with the Cubs. Not Christopher Morel, who strikes out like crazy. Because they get 2 position players and 2 pitchers out of this, and the Mets need pitching help, and they need outfield help. And by the way, Morel, from what I understand, does not play good defense. So that is my take, and that's the kind of package, in my view, would take to get Pete Alonso. So you let me know what you think about this video. I'll have updates on the non-tender waiver deadline later. Hopefully Vogelback is out of here. Hopefully he takes that chubby bastard Guillorme, who can't hit, can't put a bunt down, and get him the hell out of here. And hopefully they'll trade Drew Smith by the end of the afternoon. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you much later on today.